So I didn't make the boat draw for the Toyota, so that got canceled for me. I found like 8, 7, 6, 5 and 4 and 3 pound bedfish, and the tournament got canceled on me. So I'm now on Kissimmee trying to pre-fish for this ABA. I've had a absolutely horrendous couple weeks pre-fishing. I've been getting my ASS whooped. Today's been going horrible. Blew up a rod, blew up a reel, caught a 3, almost a 4. Some other really nice fish, and I just caught a freaking giant. It's over 8. I know that. Popping frog. An absolute tankosaurus. I don't know how big it is. It's over 8. I gotta weigh it. It's 8, probably 9. We'll see. But just a freaking tank. Which that's what fishing's all about. Honestly, I was having a horrible day. And I've had a horrible several weeks pre-fishing. Just all over the state. I just couldn't get a big bite. Just get my butt whooped. And golly, was that a turnaround. That fish waked on it. I wish I had a GoPro recording. It's the middle of the day. Last thing I was expecting was a giant bite. And yeah, that changed around really quick. It's a 9. It's a freaking 9. It's a 9. 902. Well, we're fixing to go to sleep for the night. The boat's back there. It's cold out again. This is the 3rd ABA in a row. A cold front's hit on the ABA, and it's high winds, like really high winds. The Harris chain was like 20, 30 mile an hour winds. The Okeechobee was like 20, 30 mile an hour winds. This is 20, I think this is supposed to be 35 mile an hour winds tomorrow on Kissimmee chain. So far, 3 different ABAs, 3 different bodies of water. Every single time it's been a cold front, which makes Florida fish stingy, and it has been very, very windy. So might be a little bit of a tough day fishing tomorrow. Hopefully the wind is going to cooperate with me. As long as the wind isn't on my back blowing me to the structure, I'll be just fine. If the wind's kind of on my face or one of my shoulders blowing me down it or along it or away from it, that's completely fine. I can just power pull down and won't be blown into what I'm fishing. My goal is to fish a frog. I caught over 20 pounds when I came up here on Wednesday. Today's Friday. The tournament's tomorrow, which is Saturday. So a few days ago, I caught over 20 pounds and had a big fish over 9 pounds, all fishing a frog. And that was when it was slick calm and hot out. And so now, if it's freezing cold and really windy, that might not really work out. So we'll see. I got different options in mind to flip the same structure, to throw spinnerbait, to throw swim jigs. I got obviously chatterbaits and speedworms and all sorts of junk like that tied up, but I'm thinking I might be able to utilize just different baits in the same cover if I can't get the fish to hit a frog, and hopefully catch still a decent bag. Goal is to catch like 15 pounds and hopefully just catch a check. You know, if we bust a really big bag, that'd be sick. We'd have to probably get 2 really big bites like I had to do anything crazy like that, because it is Florida and it is that time of year, so we shall see. But we're gonna get some sleep. We're gonna wake up, get some food in the morning, and then head on over to the ramp, put in, get the exemption slips, and hopefully bust them up. But heck yeah. Peace. Good morning. It's the start of ABA on Toho. See how we do.
94. Gotcha, 94.
Jeez, man, they're real small. I don't think I can wing one of that fucking far.
Like, my what passing in the wind?
Oh, shit, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
the name is that one.
Holy shit, Batman. That's ridiculous. Is that a 7.6?
Oh, it's an 8 foot.
8-foot rod.
Yeah, I like to fish real long rods. You get better casting distance, you have more control of the fish when you hook it. Little Zillion HD copper frog, about 3-something pounder.
Good deal.
First better fish.
Like you got him? I don't think he's gonna need help, man. Oh yeah. Good going.
I got him.
Sure?
Yeah.
That one may help.
You know, if I want to fish, I would either planning to start right in here and go that way,
Yeah.
or this way and go the other way. But he was already like, all right, that's it for the day. We've got like maybe 12, 13 pounds. Somebody said 16's leading, which is really bad, but it's a nasty day, so we'll see how we do. What's going on? So we just wrapped up, weighing in. We only had 12 something pounds, but we got 6th place out of over like 100 boaters and cashed a $700 check. Just sticking it out in one area, mainly just throwing a frog. So sweet, great little fishing weekend. We're gonna go do some more fishing, hopefully do a little better this afternoon. This tournament was really tough, definitely just based on the weights. There was 2 20-something pound bags, and then it dropped to 15 for 3rd, and then like 14 and down. I only had the high 12, and I was in 6th. So really stingy fishing, but we're gonna go get back out there and hopefully do well. So thanks for watching. Hey guys, what's going on? Ben McCann here. We just finished up weighing in on Lake Toho here, and we're back out on the water to do some more fishing. But I wanted to show you the main rigs I used to catch my fish today. Got a 6th place finish. There was 35+ mile-an-hour winds today, so it made for a very stingy day in the lake. A lot of guys really struggled. It was even a tough day for us. I made really every fish I hooked came into the boat, so I made all my bites count, which is good. I had some fish miss the frog. To start the morning, I had about a 5 or 6 pounder come and blow up on it. I think it just grabbed the legs, hit the hook, and literally no weight. It either dropped it or grabbed the legs. I'm just going to show you my main setup real quick. This is actually a brand new reel. It's a TOHO Zillion HD. Bad to the bone. It's got a really deep spool, so I can fit a ton of 65-pound braid on there, which is crucial for me because I make really long casts, and I think you should too if you fish a frog, because it's very important to make long casts, get your bait away from the boat, stay stealthy, and get big bites. Packed that with 65-pound TOHO J braid was what I was fishing. Either the Grand TOHO J braid, so the 8X, or that stuff right there, just regular old J braid, not the Grand, is great. Or Seagar, it's like a Tactex, I think it's called. Tactex, 65-pound braid. If I'm frogging, it's always going to be 65. I know guys will fish like 50. Not for me. If you want to hook really big fish and boat really big fish, I think you need to fish 65, and I say that because I broke 65 before on big fish frog. The 9-pounder I caught in pre-fishing was on this same setup as well. The only difference I made to this setup for tournament day is I swapped the handle, because after using the HD with the foam, like the big power handle. I wanted to be able to retrieve a frog faster and fish a frog faster, get it in and out quicker, so I opted to steal a handle off of one of my other Daiwa reels and go ahead and fish that. But this is definitely my new favorite frogging reel after using it for the past 2 trips out here on Kissimmee. And what I did my damage on today was actually a Booyah Pop and Pad Crasher. A lot of guys fish Spro, a lot of guys will fish on target, a lot of guys fish everything in between. For me, Booyah has always been like my favorite. You can obviously fish whatever you prefer, but I feel like I get the best hookup ratio on a Booyah. The frog itself, the frog body itself compresses a lot on that frog, and you get a lot of hook bite, as you can see there. So my hookup ratio is really good, which I feel like is really important for landing big fish and getting those big fish in the boat. So that was the frog I was fishing. That was the setup I was fishing. Another little trick I did was just, I like to color my line. It's more of a peace of mind thing that I feel like it does really help to get bites. I just feel like it makes the presentation and everything look a lot more stealthy and cleaner, so I always make sure to keep these in the boat and just go ahead and color my line. So I did that too. The rod I was using, a Power Rod's 806. It's a punching stick. It's like a big flipping stick. Why do you fish an 8-foot stick for a frog? An 8-foot stick is going to cast a whole lot farther than a 7.6, a 7.4, 7.3. It's gonna just cast farther. You also have more control over the fish when you hook him. You can pick up line a whole lot easier and guide line with an 8-foot rod, and you just make longer casts. So I feel like by using an 8-foot rod, by the time I make it to the end of the day, I've covered a whole lot more fresh ground. When I say fresh ground, I mean like ground super far away from the boat to where it's not really tampered or like messed up from fish hearing the trolling motor or hearing people talking or whatever. I feel like you cover way more fresh ground fishing in 8-foot rod or just making longer casts. So I make sure to run no brakes on my reels. On all my reels, no matter what I throw, I always run no brakes, but that 8-foot stick helps me get that frog way out there. As you'll probably hear my co-host talking about, I'm going to cast that thing really far. It's very important to be able to do that. So that's why I'm fishing that Daiwa Zillion, that new Daiwa Zillion HD to me. I got 4 of those, and those will definitely swap out all of my other frogging reels at the moment. Although they've been very good to me, these are just bad to the bone. So that was my main setup today. That's what I think I caught every single fish I weighed on. I also caught several high 1 pound and I think 2 pound fish on this whole spinnerbait setup. This wasn't something I used in pre-fishing. I only got about 3/4 of the day to pre-fish on Wednesday before the tournament. Just because I was pre-fishing for the Toyota. I'd taken time off work for the Toyota. I didn't make that 260 cut to be able to fish, so I didn't even get to go. So I came down here, fished for 3/4 of the day, caught a 9 and had over 20 pounds and decided, I'm going to go back to work for the week. So I worked for the last 2 days and drove up here. So I didn't play around with much else. I just located fish on this rod and this setup. And I knew I'd keep this in my hand tournament day if I couldn't, if I felt like it was working and I didn't need to swap around. If I did need to swap around, I made sure I had a bunch of other options tied up, like swim jigs, spinnerbaits like this because I knew it was going to be really windy, speed worms, flipping baits, all sorts of stuff just in case I had to switch game plans throughout the day and expand on my area. But I did pick this up, and the reason I picked this up at points of times was because it was really windy. Sometimes I felt like when the water was getting past 2 foot, it was very tannic, and I felt like it was getting a little difficult for the fish to see the flipping points. So I made sure I had a moving bait tied on, which I did pick up at a few points of times to hopefully be able to get a bigger bite just because the fish are probably hanging close to the bottom. With the wind and the waves and everything, they're going to be down, and feeding up for them is very easy. That's what they're doing at the end of the day. But it's difficult to do with all that chop up there. They're not really getting that good of a look at it like they were when it was glass calm when I was pre-fishing. So I picked this up at a few different points of times, fished around the Kissimmee grass, several of the arrowheads, or the flags people call them, and that got a couple bites for me. It's just a little Berkeley 3/8 ounce, like a white, almost like an off-white skirt with a little easy on there, gambler little easy, and just I wanted a gold and a silver. I like gold when it's tannic. Anything gold, anything black and blue, I like those colors when it's tannic. That's almost like a traditional Florida color for me. That's what I have confidence in, at least. The rod I threw that on was a Power Rod 755. Yeah, Power Rod 755, which is 7'5", 5 power rod. It's my chatterbait stick. I got a spool with 20-pound line. The reason I'm fishing 20 with a spinnerbait is just because you can hook really, really big fish. And you can hook them, and where you usually hook them is going to be around heavy cover. Which the very last thing you want to do is hook a big fish in heavy cover and have it break you off. So that's why I'm fishing at 20-pound. Great for making long casts. The whole action of bend on rods, perfect for chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, things like that. So I love it. here was a 7-to-1 Daiwa Tatula Elite. This is an 8-to-1, by the way. I love to be able to cast and retrieve very, very quickly when I'm fishing a frog, a topwater, pitching, flipping, punching, anything like that. I want to have a high speed, especially worming, because slack line, you know, you want to be able to pick up a lot of line. This, it's a tight line bait. The whole time I'm reeling, my line's tight, and I want to be able to slow that bait down at times. So I don't want to overpower line bait and get it moving too fast in the water column. I want it to look good, I want to fish clean, and I want it to get bite. So that's why I'm fishing a 7-to-1. But yeah, those are my 2 setups. So I got my 6th place finish. I was just targeting shallow, like spawning flats. It was a mix between, there was minnows up shallow. There was a ton of minnows that I found in pre-fishing, which, why would a like 9-pound class fish be around minnows? I don't think he was. I think he was on the spawning flat mixed with fish that were eating minnows. So I was getting kind of best of both worlds there, which is why it was working out for me, is because there's fish blowing up, smaller fish blowing up, which I feel like is why the popping frog came into play, because it has a blow up action to it. So I was getting some of the larger fish that were eating minnows, like the high 2-pounders that would eat minnows to hit the popping frog, and then some of the spawning fish, where I believe the fish that were coming up and boiling under the frog and things like that, because I think those fish were actually on beds or planning to spawn, and so those were I feel like a little more finicky fish, but I was also getting some of those as well. So that was kind of the area I was targeting: sandy bottom, about 2 foot of water, tannic and clean. Obviously with the wind, it was I chose the calm side of the lake, and that happened to be the side of the lake I found was the calm side, so it worked out great. Got that 6th place finish, and now we're gonna go do some pre-fishing. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. We're gonna try and get some more content out soon. I'm planning to fish over 20 tournaments this year. Last year I think I only fished like maybe 10 or 12. And made like 7 really cool videos out of that. So hopefully this year we can bang out some more really great finishes and some awesome videos. And so I hope you guys enjoy, and I will catch you in the next one.